How are India's relations going to improve? Hello everyone and welcome once again. So today we are going to discuss all about this latest news and also about Indian issues. Let's go. In Tianjin, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Vladimir Putin, who is the President of Russia, and Xi Jinping, the President of China, recently met together to discuss certain issues in Tianjin, China, at the SCO Summit 2025. SCO's full form is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. It discusses primarily relations with China. Leaders were seen exchanging handshakes, smiles, and even hugs. And it comes despite tensions between India and the US, particularly following the imposition of 50% tariffs on Indian goods. The SCO engagement underscored India's pivot towards cultivating stronger ties with both China and Russia as a counterbalance, since India's and America's relations are being worsened. Sadly, also there is the rise of hatred or even stigmatization against Indians, saying that we don't need more Indians in the workforce, etc. This relationship will help India's relations up to a large scale, provided China and Russia are a very big countries, very powerful countries, and Modi Putin bilateral resonates with significance. So as you know, since the past 150 years, India has extremely strong relations with Russia. It also defended Russia over Ukraine during the war, and also Modi shared a post. Both discussed critical areas of collaboration, including energy, defense, and broader strategic alignment. And Modi viewed it as special and privileged, and Putin friendly and trusting. And also Modi and Xi are resetting India-China relations. So as you know, the Sino-India war, and also a lot of things, there are tensions escalating between the two countries. So the first in 7 years he visited to China, Prime Minister Modi ji, and the key initiatives were resuming the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, restoring direct flights, and reopening border cooperation. Xi's remarks focused on countering bullying behavior, advocating fairness, and opposing Cold War style camp confrontations. And also, Modi also made an invitation to Xi to attend the 2026 BRICS summit in India, a gesture towards multilateral camaraderie. So yes, this is an extremely important event. A lot of people are saying about this, discussing about this, both for and against. 2 to 3 days back, the US government increased the tariffs to India by 50%, and also still phase 2 and phase 3 is not implemented. He said India has got big problems, President Trump, and he also said specifically it half aimed at penalizing New Delhi for ramping up Russian oil imports after Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Some are saying that they are doing all this for US's validation. Some people are saying that India is paying money to some American conservative influencers to say that America and India are best friends and don't promote Indian racism. Personally, I don't think that's kind of true, but I think if it is, then I say it's grey. And also recently again on X, there is a lot of condemnation against Indians, and some people are saying India has contributed a lot to America, and I think that Americans have been grateful, and it is a good thing that we have contributed a lot and given jobs to a lot of people and also made America great. Indian Americans earn the highest median income because of their value for education, and also they have contributed to America's thriving economy. A lot of anti-India posts are done by Pakistanis. Some say Indians are woke, which a lot are not. Now there is a punishment on Indians for tariffs, and also India should be punished, and H1B should be banned, and Indians are scammers happening. Even I was badly criticized on X, and the other half under Trump's signature America First push to cut trade deficits, because a lot of money spent on other countries and which does not prioritize their own people, which I think is a good thing to be concerned about. And he also said that with tariffs, the US is a rich nation and without it is a poor nation, which is partially true to be said. And he also said that 1 year ago the United States was dead country, and now because of trillions of dollars being paid by countries that have so badly abused us, America is a strong, financially viable and respected country again. Now I don't believe here like India has troubled US, because a lot of Indian Americans are conservatives, they are loyal to America, they respect the culture, and like much better immigrants than Russian, Mexican immigrants, like not all, but a significant amount. Even in the Pahalgam attack, US stayed neutral, but also it sided with Pakistan, or as always. He said India has got big problems, and that's what happens. They helped China, and now they are like kind of betraying. Would you say that putting secondary sanctions on India, the largest purchaser outside China, they are almost equal? So this is like a really an Indian serial style movement for me. And also, they are now again discussing on the H1B visa thing, saying that it is abusing, the system is abusing people, and American workers are being replaced by cheap labor, which I think is partially true. Some people are for it, some are against. Charlie Kirk said we don't need more visas from India, and some say that since India's culture and values stand in opposition with America's values, it is like not enriching the essence of America and the West. And Florida Governor DeSantis recently labeled H1B program a total scam, reflecting growing anti-immigration sentiment and a politicized environment. And now there is going to be a stricter visa policy, and this is again a gray area. Personally, I think that the H1B visas should be restricted. That yes, now other countries people's like, because there is a lot of problems in the for Indians corporate sector. I personally think that America should like hire a few skilled Indian workers and restrict the program, and also not cut off the existing ones. And also, with regards to the India, I personally think that the reason people prefer America is because India's, though India has a growing booming IT sector. Now this H1B visa thing started because in 1999, when the 2000 year was going to be established, there was a huge problem which could occur, and Indian IT engineers solved that problem. And that's why people started migrating, importing various Indian people, Indian tech skilled people, IT professionals, because of this reason. And this is actually a good news. India is leading in IT sectors throughout the world. A lot of companies, especially planted in developing countries, are from India. Much of the CEOs, even in American tech companies, are Indian immigrants, and this is something a good thing for India. But also, if we look from an America's perspective, it like should be prioritizing America's workers also, and also skilled workers, because these product based companies are extremely, they require extreme high skills, unlike service based companies. That's why good people with good skills should be prioritized. The reason these visas are there is not because of skilled primarily. Like people say they have been abused by many Indian American CEOs, which I think is wrong, and it is used to import cheap labor. China, Mexico, etc. also has these visas. And also there is now a revoking of 6 lakh Chinese visas for abroad education, immigration. There is a growing sentiment against China also. But if we look at China, China has gone far ahead in technology than the US, let alone India. That they are producing AI stuff, they are living in 2060, etc. And this is actually a really good and inspiring thing. But some people are saying that they are stealing American tech, and then they are doing this, which is kind of partially true. So I personally think that for any country, mass migration of countries who have wrong relations or not so good relations should be restricted for the safety. And also here, with regards to the meat, I personally think that with regards to China, there should be a little discernment. It should not be trusted completely. We have seen that experiment multiple times, and it has failed. So I think we should be careful, especially with the ongoing tensions of these things, the Israel-Gaza war. A lot other issues are there, and I think that though this meet will improve, and it will bring India on a larger global pedestal, this event matters a lot, because a clear signal to the West is given. This reflects India's strategic movement to diverse partnerships and strained, despite strained US ties. driven by trade disputes and geopolitical discord, reviving the Russia, India, China troika, and also it follows a counterweight to Western influence. So it infers that we don't need Western influence to become successful, which I think is a good thing. That Western countries will also be able to prioritize their own interests, and even we will be able to do so. And also India's strategic autonomy, since it has become the fourth largest economy. By balancing relations with both Moscow and Beijing, India appears intent on charting an independent diplomat's path without aligning exclusively with any singular bloc. So India will have multiple options to choose from, which I think is an extremely positive thing. So I think that this will definitely help in boosting India's economy and India's view in the international scale. India is viewed more negatively these days by the international media, whether it's the US, the UK, or even Korea, Japan. Huge anti-immigration protests are happening in Australia, Europe, which are violent. It is a poster featuring various icons related to our show. So DM me on my Instagram account and you will definitely get it. Japan has been hiring Indian people because Japan's and India's relations improve, which I think is a great news. But Indians are blamed because of their civic sense, and I think that this issue should be addressed and Indians should improve their civic sense, their etiquettes, their habits, etc. And I think a lot of work has to be done in India still to have a more positive outlook by other nations. India should prioritize its own people. Also, India should be able to give aid to the more needy people, to help their own people before helping the other countries' people. Now, recently Afghanistan faced flood issues and a lot of resources, basic needs were given by India, which is in of itself good. But also now Punjab floods came, and only Punjabi celebrities are speaking against the floods. India should prioritize these things first in their own nation, and I believe that every nation should be able to put their own country first, not because of selfishness, but because of selflessness. Because if you will not unnecessarily interfere in others' nations' affairs, then they will be able to carry out their tasks smoothly. There will be fewer wars, there will be flourishing from all ends, there will be no racism, no hate, and every country will be developed equally, which I think is really really good and necessary. And India should do that. India should improve the IT sector and reduce the toxic work culture, not just financially, but also Indians lives should be better. I think so. And since we have the capability to do these things, we can do it. Recently we saw Gurugram, Delhi, and a lot other cities are sunking in floods, and they are saying the roads are being broken, and even in posh areas the flood is reaching till the knee level or above that also. And this is really really sad to be seen as an Indian. Because of poor water management policies and corruption, these things happen. This should be tackled. From America's perspective, it's true that America has done a lot of good things. It's primarily because of its values and its foundation, but it's also true that we don't solely have to rely on America or rely on it to be successful. We can do it on our own, so that America first and India first, both policies will work on smoothly. There will be less difficulty in implementing good things. So I believe that yes, we should be striving to develop India, not only physically but also logically. And this international thing will definitely develop India, especially in tech, in defense stuff, in a lot other things. An illegal Aryan truck driver named Harjinder Singh, he came and he killed 3 people in the drive away, and he didn't knew the skills. He also did not be able to complete the driving license course properly, and this was really really wrong. A lot of Punjabis are defending him, which I think is also worse. India has cut the tariffs from 12 to 0 for 36 essential medical goods, which is really really good. Now I hope taxes should be reduced on more important things, and instead from the taxes do something development, genuine development, which is sustainable and which will not cause problems in people.
Now, China won't be able to easily harm India because of Russia, and it's better than India US.
India ने करके दिखाया. So thank you guys for listening to this episode. Do share your thoughts on these things. Personally, I think that this is a major milestone for India. Bye.